Planeswalkers, Hedonist Jester here again with another Magic Legends video. This one isn't going to be a tutorial, it's going to be more to answer a question. What is Loadout Score and what does it mean to me? A lot of people are tossing around this word, and if you come from other RPGs and MMOs like Black Desert, you'll know about gear score and how wearing different items will increase or decrease your potency in combat. Well, Magic Legends is no different. They use something called the Loadout Score, and it's comprised of a lot of different aspects. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take a look at the Loadout Score for Jester. Going to go into our main menu here. As you can see here, this Loadout Score up in the top left next to your name shows you, it says this score represents your overall power. You can use it to choose an appropriately challenging difficulty level. Times 8.51 health and damage bonus. That right there is because my loadout score is 1127. Now if I were to alter that loadout score lower, that multiplier would drop. And if I change it higher, it goes up. As an example, let's just go with a weaker spell here really quick. We'll put Telestrike in here. There, my loadout score just dropped to 1109, and you'll see that it's now at 8.37 health and damage bonus. Now if I put it back up, what did I take out? Oh yeah, the Night Veil. There you are. It'll raise back to 1127. Now, you commonly want to go with the highest loadout score possible, with the exception of from your spells. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with what makes a loadout score, and why is that multiplier so very important? Well, we'll answer the second part first. Having a higher multiplier on your health and damage will affect every single ability and spell that you cast. Well, for the most part. It will cause your sorceries to hit harder, your enchantments to hit harder. It will cause you to be hardier so that when you're hit, you're not, running away for your dear life. And it also is the base of your character. So when you add things like potencies and health increases, they multiply off of the base, and that base is because of the loadout score. So basically, all of your abilities and potencies also increase in value. So having a higher loadout score is the foundation of having a more powerful character. It's the most important stat. And this is not just my opinion. This is the opinion of any endgame currently, if you can call it endgame because it's only beta. Anybody who's farming master difficulties in order to get their gear, they'll tell you right now that loadout score is the most important aspect. With the sole exception of which spells you're using in order to make your deck work, but those spells can increase your loadout score or decrease based on their rank. So what makes a high loadout score? Well, there's four aspects really, and it's everything here under loadout next to your library. If you click on that, you'll see there are 5 aspects here: equipment, artifacts, class, traits, and deck. Now all 5 of these minus class doesn't count, but the other 4 all have an effect on your loadout score. So we will start with the left and move our way right. For equipment, everything that you wear increases your loadout score by the loadout score of the piece of gear that you're wearing. For instance, this headdress of the occult that I have. Common head 53 sword icon thingy. That means 53 loadout score. If I removed this, my loadout score would drop by 53. We'll just remove that. You'll see it went down by 53, and likewise my multiplier went down to 8.16 health and damage bonus. Now we're going to put that back on because we really don't want that to happen. I believe it was a cult that I was wearing. There it is. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to end up swapping it all out anyway. And the loadout score for these different pieces of equipment, your gloves have a loadout score, your chest has a loadout score. All of these pieces' loadout scores go up based on how far they've been upgraded. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether they're common or uncommon or rare or even mythic. See, as you can see, 23. The rarity of the item pretty much tells you how good the item is, but the loadout score is independent of this. The loadout score just says, how many times have I been upgraded and how far am I upgraded? Pieces in general go up to 60 loadout score. I don't have any pieces that... Wait, do I? Let me check that really quick. I believe I might, actually. But pieces generally, it's either 58 or it's 60. I will tell you in a second. I don't want to give you bad information. Okay, this piece is maxed. So each piece of gear goes up to 58 loadout score. You have 6 pieces of gear that you can wear. So that means 348 loadout score potential comes from your equipment. Each piece that you choose to wear that has a lower loadout score than 58 is taking away from your potential. But Jester, I don't have any gear that's 58. How do I get a loadout score like that on my pieces? Well, you farm. Because every time you upgrade a piece of gear, the loadout score increases based on how its abilities have increased. You'll see right here, I can upgrade Bracers of the Harvester. These have a loadout score of 21. They have a chance to draw a spell, or a chance 87% when I draw a spell to do something. They have secondary potency of a small amount, and they have utility recharge speed of a small amount. If I upgrade these, I will use one of my upgrade materials. And if you see here, there's a percentage next to each upgrade possibility. This says 87%. That means this has been upgraded to 87% of its max potential for the core ability. For the secondary ability, it's only at 2% of its max potential. And for the tertiary ability, it's only at 19% of its max potential. Now, the closer you get to 100% on each of these, the higher your loadout score will get. And you only increase that percentage by using your upgrade materials and upgrading with them. Now, it seems to be that your upgrade amount that you get per material is based on how far you are from 100%. In other words, if I use an upgrade material here at 87, now it's possible that it can go all the way up to 100, but I'm most likely only going to see a 2% increase or so. However, this one, a 2.12%, if I used an upgrade material, could very well go all the way up to 50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this right here in the secondary to increase this percentage out of 19, 18, or 87 and 2. 2 is the one that's probably going to go up the most. So let's take a look at it again. It's currently at... I just totally lost it, didn't I? There it is, Bracers of the Harvester. It's currently at 21 gear score. Upgrade. We're going to upgrade this one from 2% to 43.7%. So now we go back, and our Bracers of the Harvester have gone up to... There they are. 29 loadout score. We gained 8 loadout score by upgrading that. So as you upgrade each of your pieces of equipment, their loadout score will rise until they're at 100, 100, and 100 in their percentages. And then that loadout score will be 58. And again, this is regardless as to their rarity. If they're common, uncommon, mythic, it doesn't matter. When it's at 100, 100, 100, you will have 58 loadout score for that piece. Now, if I upgrade all of these, this UI is absolutely terrible for equipment. I mean, I understand that this is a beta game, but the quality of life for this is just horrid. And Cryptic really needs to take a look at this as one of the very important aspects of, first come, first serve. No, let's go with QOL first so that you can get some players. So, yeah. But this sorting option is just horrible. In any case, so that's how you increase loadout score on each individual piece. And then you wear the pieces, which will increase your loadout score overall over here. That's how equipment works. Now we're going to go through and we're going to put all of our highest loadout score stuff in there. So let's find a 58 helm, or as close as we can. There's a 57. That's probably the highest I'm going to get. So let's look for a 58. No 58. Okay. Chest piece. This is only a 37. I was actually using this for another reason, but we'll talk about that as well. Let's go for a 58. There's a 58. Travelers. Let's go for gloves. I believe my Traveler's gloves are also 58. I wonder if that's related. I wonder if each specific piece has a similar upgrade or a similar upgrade material drop rate. That would be interesting. In any case, boots. Greaves of the Harvester are only 41. Here's a 58. Boots of the Pioneer. Now this is another thing. This bothers me too. See how I can upgrade this twice? It's a 58. It's already maxed. Well, actually it's not, because I can upgrade the one that I can't use yet until I swap. So let's do that. But I have another piece that's completely maxed, and I shouldn't be getting drops for it because I can never upgrade it, so what good are the upgrade materials? I digress. We'll put in 58 greaves. There we go. Boots of the Pioneer. Cowl of the Pioneer. Interesting. So my Pioneers are both almost maxed, and my Travelers are both almost maxed. That kind of makes me wonder if specific types of gear drop more commonly upgrade materials than others. Well, since it's beta, nobody really has explored this, and so we probably should. In any case, going back to our rings, we have a 58 or a 57 at least. There's a 57. We'll put that one in for now. And let's find a 57 or 58. There's a 58. Okay, so barring that we have another 58 here, which I don't believe I do, since there are so many accessory drops, getting these to max takes a lot of time. So yeah, I don't have another 58. My other option is a Cowl of the Pioneer again. Let's see if there's a 58 head that I'm missing. I don't think there is. No. Okay, so this is the highest I can go gear score wise with my equipment and the current level of upgrade that they're at. Moving on, artifacts. Each artifact, regardless as to what it does, gives you loadout score based on its upgrade, similar to the upgrade for equipment. If we were to upgrade Elixir of Vitality, for instance, we have here, it shows it's got 20 loadout score. It's rank 10. It's not maximized on these three, so if I were to upgrade it and take it up to level 20 or a level 11, the gear score on this would go from 20 to 22. And it continues linearly in this fashion, depending on the tier of artifact, the tiers being legendary, greater, and lesser. So, where the rarity of the equipment doesn't matter, common, uncommon, or mythic, or rare, the tier of the artifact actually does. Lesser artifacts max out at 40 gear score each. Greater artifacts max out at 60 gear score each. And legendary artifacts max out at 80 gear score each. So in artifacts, you're able to have 180, 260s, and 340s. And that equals 320 gear score possible from your artifacts. So you have 58 times 6, or 348 available from equipment, and 320 available from artifacts. So that's 668 total gear score that you can have just by having your gear upgraded to the maximum. Now, unlike equipment, artifacts usually have really, really strong effects, which is why you only get so many possibilities. The effects of these strong artifacts very commonly trump their gear score. And the other aspect is that they're easily upgraded just using fragments. So it's not a difficult matter to get, say, my Thornbite Altar from rank 9 and 36 gear score up to rank 20 and 80 gear score. So since it's not that difficult, you pretty much use whatever artifacts fit your build and then get all the ranks up to 20. The other reason you want to do that is because at level 20, most of these artifacts unlock a tertiary ability that is synergistic with what it has otherwise. So let's look here. We've got artifacts 80, 60, 60, 40, 40, 40. Moving on to class. As I said, your class and class level has nothing to do with gear score. I can go to Beast Caller, I can go to Necromancer, I can go to Sanctifier. The gear score is not going to change. If my Geomancer was level 1 and I clicked on him, that gear score would still be a 1225 there. It has nothing to do with your gear score, which seems to me an oversight. I think your character level should have something to do with your loadout score. But, you know, I'm not a dev. I don't know what they're thinking or what they have, you know, in mind as a reasoning. And I'm sure that they're a lot smarter than I am. Moving on to traits. You're able to wear 3 traits at any point in time. Traits are all worth 30 loadout score each. They don't have ranks. They can't be upgraded. They're given to you based on reaching level 30 in a class or your starting traits. Starting being Intimidating Roar, Might from Unity, and Aether Aggression. I believe coming from Demir. And the rest of them are based on your different classes being at rank 30. Necrotic Burst, Disinformation, Heart of Iron, Psychic Prowess, Primal Rage, and Ward of the Sanctifier. They are all level 30 loadout score. They do not go down, they do not go up. So as long as you're wearing 3, you have 90 loadout score from it. If I were to remove one, because I only have 2 traits, I only have 60 loadout score for that. So even if you have a trait that doesn't help you at all, slot it, because it'll increase your loadout score by 30 points. Lastly, the deck. This is probably the most interesting aspect of loadout score since it's a double whammy. What happens is your ranks of your spells each increase that individual spell loadout score and its effect on your loadout score. It also increases the potency of that spell, not to be confused with the potency keyword that's coming from equipment or artifacts, but the strength of that spell. For instance, if I go to my Cabal Knight, you will see he's rank 5. He has 1,062 DPS and 28,958 health. If I got 1,600 spell pages and I went to upgrade him, that DPS would increase, that health would increase, his special abilities damage would increase, and his loadout score, what his value is to my loadout score, also increases. Now, these I believe are 7 per rank. We can check that right now by going to Library, and we'll find a rank 4. Actually, we'll go to a rank 3. I don't use red so much. We should have a rank 3 red somewhere around here. There we go. There's a rank 3. Oh, look, a rank 1, because I don't use Goblin Rush. Rank 1, no loadout score. Interesting. Rank 3, 14 loadout score. Now, I believe it's 7 per rank. So a rank 4 spell should have 21 loadout score. 21. Rank 4. A rank 5 spell should have a 28 loadout score. Rank 5, 28. A rank 6 spell, 35. A rank 7 spell, 42. Now, you'll notice that this is the same regardless of its rarity. Again, just like equipment. It doesn't matter if it's a common, uncommon, what have you. You're gaining 7 points of loadout score per rank of the spell minus the first one. Now, also, this loadout score doesn't mean anything to you unless it's in your deck. Which means when it comes time to build your deck, if you have 2 cards that you're trying to decide between, pick the one with the higher rank. It might look weaker, but it's giving you 7 more loadout score. So, for instance, this Dimir Curiosity deck here. My Stalker is rank 7. My Water Elemental is only a rank 5, but I like his pull effect. 7. Rank 8 Thrall is a 49. 5. He's kind of questionable. I like the lifelink, but it's not necessary. 7, 7, 7, 6, 7, 7, 6. Now, a lot of people, they'll look at Glint and say, well, it only increases the seconds that the buff is up for your spell, and it costs pages to upgrade it, and it costs Aether to upgrade it, and I'm only using it for the card draw. So I'm just going to leave it at level 1, at rank 1, and I'm going to sell off all the pages that I get at the broker, and I'm going to make gold instead of upgrading that spell. Well, what you're doing then is you're putting a rank 1 spell in your deck that currently gives me 35 loadout score, and it's giving you 0 because it's rank 1. Even upgrading it to rank 2, you'd get at least 7. But that's a lot of loadout score you're missing out on. And that loadout score, like I said, is the most important stat in Magic Legends. So, don't sell your pages off unless you really know that you're not going to be using that spell. Don't sell it off because you can use it at rank 1. That would be a bad move. So let's see if I can do this a little bit smarter. I do like my Water Elemental's pull ability, but I really only need 5 blue spells in this build. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to replace it with a black spell. We'll go with something that, instead of pull, is also CC based. What do we have? Oh, there we go. Leech's Outbreak, or Leech Outbreak. It's only rank 6, but that's a rank higher, and it gives me some health. We'll use that instead. Our loadout score just went up. We have become more powerful just by using a different spell. Cabal Knight I really like. I would really only replace him for another massively damage sorcery or a higher rank also lifelink creature. And again, it has to be black for the Curiosity build. So let's find something that's higher than rank 5. Well, here's a rank 6 that gains life. But I would prefer to go with a rank 7. Yes. This is the answer. Scathe Zombies creates 3 creatures that can tank for you. That's very, very nice. Goes very well also with the Corpse Fiend's pump ability. And in any case, I'm getting off the topic. As you can see, my loadout score has gone up again. Now, there's a theoretical cap to your loadout score. That theoretical cap, you'll hear tossed around in Discord and possibly in Zone Chat. They'll say, you can have a 15-16 loadout score. No, you actually can't. There's no way currently to have a 15-16 loadout score. And the reason is, you would have to have all of these spells at rank 10, which would be 63 loadout score per times 12. And then that plus your traits, plus your artifacts, plus your equipment equals 15-16. Unfortunately, getting these all to rank 10 requires more pages than you could possibly have acquired in the game by week 2 of beta. So when they say you can get a 15-16 loadout score, it's just a very good goal to make. So what you're going to want to do now is go back to your decks, go to your artifacts, go to your equipment, find everything with the highest possible loadout score, ignore any of the effects on the items. Forget about the effects. Forget about what your artifacts do. Forget about any of this. Forget about the traits and what your traits do for you. These are things to worry about for another time. See, when you have a piece of equipment like, say, Traveler's Attire here that does me absolutely no good except for the loadout score, these aspects of it only matter when I compare it to another item that has the same loadout score. Then I pick between the two, you see, and one's abilities give me far better benefit. Now, there are exceptions for specific builds where you're trying to do something that's a lot of fun in a different way. But if you really want to just plow expert and master level difficulties, get this number up. That's all you need. And then when you look at your library and the spells, make sure you have a decent spill of creatures. Make sure you have a good amount there for you. Make sure that those creatures aren't weak, that you have their rank and thus loadout score increased. And you'll find that you're raffle stomping your enemies a lot faster and a lot more efficiently than running around with, say, a 900 loadout score as opposed to a 12. Now, when you can do that, you can go farm equipment and farm artifacts and farm fragments and farm spell pages. And all that farming adds up to higher ranks and higher loadout score. This has been Hedonist Jester. Thank you for watching, and I hope now you are a little bit more attuned to the loadout score of your character in Magic Legends.